I'm Ailish Cagbo and I'm an independent domestic violence advocate for Pennine Domestic Violence Group, more commonly known as an IDVA. So I support high-risk victims of domestic abuse in regards to safety planning and crisis intervention, as well as support to navigate the criminal justice system. As an advocate for victims of domestic abuse, I promote the Clare's Law scheme on a day-to-day basis. That can be directly with victims, promoting their right to ask if they have any concerns in regards to their partner's current behaviour or previous history. I also sit on a multi-agency panel meeting where we discuss domestic incidents that have been reported into the police within the last 24 hours. This allows us opportunities to identify any people that we believe may be at risk, and then we would utilise the right to know strand of the scheme. It also allows us to identify any new partners of reoffending perpetrators of abuse. When people think about domestic abuse, I think they can often think of physical abuse resulting in injuries. However, it's an ongoing pattern of behaviours fuelled by power and control. Many victims that I've worked with previously will often say that they fell out with family or friends, or they've been approached by previous partners of the perpetrator trying to warn them about their behaviour. Now, as we know, perpetrators will often use tactics such as isolation and manipulation, so often these warning signs can be overlooked by people because there's an excuse for that behaviour. What the Clare's Law scheme does is it provides factual information from an independent source. It allows victims to make informed choices and decisions about their relationship so they can look at their safety and whether they need to access support. In my role, I've dealt with lots of cases where we have applied for Clare's Law, or the police have shared that information on a right-to-know basis. One of my current cases that I'm working with, a male had attended a routine appointment at a sexual health clinic. He disclosed some information that the nurse felt was of a concerning nature, so she referred him into our multi-agency hub meeting to be discussed. At that meeting, agencies shared information that they had on both the victim and the potential perpetrator. This identified quite a concerning history from the partner, and it was agreed that a right to know should be given to this male that had attended the appointment. The police was supported by an IDVA to attend to this client and inform him of his partner's previous history. This then led him to disclose further information about assaults that he'd received and controlling behaviour at the hands of the perpetrator. This is an ongoing case. The perpetrator has been charged for some offences and is waiting to go to court, and the victim is accessing IDVA support. We've also worked with a mother of a victim who has put a request in because she had some concerns about her daughter's partner. She noticed that her daughter's behaviour was changing. They wasn't really seeing much of her. Now, the daughter's partner didn't live in West Yorkshire, so our agencies, along with the police, liaised with the agencies in his local area. Again, it showed that he had a violent history with quite a number of victims. He was a repeat offender, and so that information was shared with the victim. Once she ended that relationship, the perpetrator began to escalate his behaviour towards his then partner. He was harassing her, turning up at the address, making contact, and she was supported to get an injunction against that partner. She's no longer in the relationship. To anyone that is concerned about their partner's previous history or current behaviour, whether it's information or hearsay that they've heard or whether it's just a gut feeling, I would advise them to utilise their right to ask. This will allow them the opportunity to identify any warning signs and any risks within their relationship and access help. The Clare's Law scheme provides life-changing information that people should utilise if needed.